Have you ever paused, truly paused, and asked yourself, who am I, really? Not the name you answer to, not the roles you play, not the stories you tell yourself about success or failure, but something deeper. It's a strange, almost unsettling question, isn't it? Because if you strip away the titles, the identities, and the narratives, what remains? Beneath the constant chatter of the mind and the relentless pull of external expectations, there exists a quiet presence, an unshakable observer that sees without judgment, that simply is. This idea may sound simple, perhaps even too simple. But what if the simplicity of it masks a profound truth? What if the life you are living, with all its complexities and challenges, is being dictated not by this quiet essence but by the stories and labels you've accumulated? And here's the revelation. Most of us are so consumed by those stories that we've forgotten how to access this still, timeless part of ourselves. We're living on the surface, while the depth, our truest self, remains untouched, waiting to be rediscovered. Think about it. How often have you felt trapped by your own thoughts? Perhaps you've replayed an argument 1,000 times in your head, or felt overwhelmed by an endless list of responsibilities that seem to grow no matter how much you accomplish. Maybe you've wondered why the achievements that should bring happiness often feel hollow or fleeting. These struggles are universal. They're part of the human condition. But what if I told you that there's a way out of this cycle, not by fixing the external, but by reconnecting with the observer within? It's a subtle shift, but its implications are extraordinary. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm, surrounded by chaos, yet feeling completely at peace because you've anchored yourself in a part of you that cannot be touched by the winds of circumstance. That's what it feels like to access this deeper awareness. The storms don't stop, life's challenges don't vanish. But suddenly, they lose their grip on you. The chaos can rage on, yet within, you are still. And here's the invitation. What if the life you've been searching for, the clarity, the peace, the unshakable joy, isn't something you have to create or chase? What if it's already within you, hidden behind the noise of daily life? This isn't just an idea or philosophy. It's a truth that countless individuals have stumbled upon, often during their most difficult moments. It's a shift that changes everything. Stay with me. This isn't just another self-help narrative promising quick fixes or magical transformations. It's an exploration, a journey inward. And I promise, as you continue, you'll begin to see yourself, and your life, in a way you never have before. Because the observer within isn't just a concept, it's the key to rediscovering who you truly are. Take a moment and imagine a vast, open sky. It stretches endlessly, unbothered by the weather patterns that pass through. Storms may rage, clouds may gather, and rain may fall, but the sky itself remains untouched. This is the perfect metaphor for the observer within you. Thoughts, emotions, and circumstances are like the ever-changing weather, sometimes calm, sometimes chaotic. Yet, beneath all this turbulence lies the sky of your true self, boundless, unshakable, and clear. The observer is not something you need to create or find, it's already there. It has always been there, silently watching your life unfold. When you feel joy, it's the observer that notices. When sadness or anger sweeps over you, it's the observer that remains steady, witnessing it all. Unlike your thoughts, which race and spiral, or your emotions, which rise and fall, the observer is constant. It doesn't try to fix, control, or change what it sees. It simply observes, offering you a unique space of clarity and neutrality. This realization, that you are not your thoughts, nor your emotions, but the awareness that perceives them, can be utterly life-changing. Think about the weight you carry when you identify with every worry, every fleeting moment of frustration, or every regret. It's exhausting, isn't it? But what if you could step back, even for a moment, and see these things for what they are, passing clouds in the sky of your awareness? That's the freedom the observer brings. Yet, this isn't always easy. Most of us are so accustomed to being entangled in the storms of life that we've forgotten what it feels like to simply be. The mind is a master storyteller, crafting narratives about who we are based on the past or who we must become in the future. And while those stories can be compelling, they're not the truth of who you are. You're not the mistakes you've made, the roles you play, or even the dreams you aspire to. You are the one who observes it all, unchanging and infinite, like the sky itself. When you begin to reconnect with this observer, life shifts in subtle but profound ways. Challenges don't disappear, but they lose their power to overwhelm you. Joy becomes deeper and more enduring because it's no longer tied to fleeting circumstances. And most importantly, you gain a sense of inner peace that no external event can shake. The observer within you is the still point in a spinning world, the calm in the center of every storm. It's the essence of who you are. We live in a world driven by narratives. From the moment we are born, we are taught to define ourselves by the stories we tell. I am successful. I am not good enough. I am loved. I am overlooked. These narratives shape the way we see ourselves, how we interact with others, and even what we believe we are capable of. But have you ever stopped to question the truth of these stories? Are they accurate reflections of who you are, or simply scripts you've adopted along the way? Many of these narratives are inherited. They come from the voices of parents, teachers, and society at large. They are reinforced by experiences, both good and bad, creating a web of identities that can feel impossible to escape. But here's the truth, none of these stories define your essence. They are like masks, worn for different roles, but they are not the face beneath. And the observer within you? It's never fooled by these masks. It sees past them, straight to the core of who you are. This realization is not meant to dismiss the stories or the roles we play. They serve a purpose, after all, helping us navigate the practicalities of life. But the danger lies in forgetting that these roles are just that, temporary costumes, not the essence of our being. When we cling too tightly to these identities, we limit ourselves. We become trapped by the expectations they carry and the fears they create. But imagine what it would feel like to step back from these narratives, even briefly. To see them as words on a page rather than the entirety of your being. To recognize that beneath the labels, there is a you that exists beyond definition. This is the gift of the observer. It allows you to see the stories without being consumed by them. It reminds you that you are not the script but the author, capable of rewriting your life at any moment. Breaking free from narratives doesn't mean rejecting them entirely. It means approaching them with awareness and curiosity. It means asking, is this story serving me? Is it helping me grow, or is it holding me back? When you observe your narratives from this space of neutrality, you gain the power to choose which ones to keep and which ones to let go. This is the beginning of true freedom, the kind that comes not from changing who you are, but from remembering who you've always been. Picture this, a glass of muddy water, shaken and clouded. No matter how hard you try to see through it, the turbulence keeps everything obscured. But when you let it sit still, something remarkable happens. The sediment begins to settle, and clarity emerges naturally. This is the essence of reconnecting with the observer within. It's not about forcing your mind to be calm or fighting against the chaos of life. It's about allowing everything to settle on its own, creating the space for clarity to rise. When we live in constant motion, both externally and mentally, our thoughts become like that muddy water. They swirl around, blending together until it's impossible to separate the urgent from the insignificant, the real from the imagined. In this state, problems seem larger than they are, and solutions feel out of reach. But the observer is like the stillness that allows the sediment to decant. It doesn't try to fix the water, it simply holds the space for the process to happen naturally. This stillness doesn't mean the absence of movement or activity. It's an inner quiet, a sense of presence that remains untouched by the storms of thought and emotion. In this space, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see things as they truly are. The problems that once seemed overwhelming lose their intensity. The tangled web of worries and fears begins to untangle itself. And most importantly, you gain the ability to respond to life with greater wisdom and calm. Stillness is not passivity. It's the foundation for deliberate, meaningful action. When you operate from this place of clarity, your actions become more focused and effective. You're no longer reacting to life on autopilot, driven by old patterns and conditioned responses. Instead, you're able to choose your path consciously, guided by the steady presence of the observer within. So how do you cultivate this stillness? It starts with something as simple as pausing, taking a moment to breathe, to step out of the rush, and to tune into the present moment. These small acts of stillness are like drops of water that eventually fill a well. Over time, they create a reservoir of peace and clarity that you can draw from, no matter what life brings your way. Reconnecting with the observer within doesn't require a complete overhaul of your life. In fact, the beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. It's about weaving small moments of awareness into your day, like seeds that grow into a deeper connection with your true self. Here are a few ways to begin. Start with your breath. It's always there, a constant rhythm that mirrors the ebb and flow of life itself. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Notice the sensation of air filling your lungs, then leaving your body. This simple act anchors you to the present moment, drawing your attention away from the whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. Next, try observing your thoughts. Not controlling them, not silencing them, just watching them, as if they were clouds drifting across the sky. You might notice a recurring worry or a story your mind keeps replaying. Instead of getting caught up in it, practice saying to yourself, there's that thought again. By naming it, you create a small but powerful distance between you and the thought itself. Another powerful practice is mindful awareness. Choose an everyday activity, like washing dishes or taking a walk, and do it with your full attention. Notice the way the water feels on your hands or the sensation of your feet touching the ground. These moments of presence are like windows into the observer within, offering glimpses of the stillness that's always there. You don't need hours of meditation or a perfectly quiet space to begin. Even a few moments of awareness each day can have a profound impact over time. The key is consistency, not perfection. With practice, you'll start to notice a shift. Challenges may still arise, but they won't sweep you away as easily. You'll find yourself responding to life with more grace and less resistance, guided by the quiet wisdom of the observer. These practices are not about escaping reality. They're about engaging with it more fully, from a place of calm and clarity. The observer within isn't separate from life, it's the part of you that allows you to live it more deeply, with a sense of presence and purpose that transforms even the most ordinary moments. The moment you begin to connect with the observer within, something shifts. It's subtle at first, like the soft light of dawn breaking over the horizon. But as you nurture this connection, its impact begins to ripple through every aspect of your life. Suddenly, the things that once felt overwhelming seem manageable. The endless striving for approval or success begins to lose its grip. And a new sense of freedom takes its place, a freedom that comes from knowing you are more than the sum of your roles, stories, and struggles. This freedom isn't just about letting go of stress or achieving a sense of calm. It's about rediscovering who you truly are. When you live from the space of the observer, life becomes less about what you do and more about how you are. Joy is no longer something you chase, it's something you uncover, already present within you. Peace isn't dependent on circumstances, it flows naturally from the stillness inside. People around you may start to notice the change. They might see a new calm in your demeanor, a lightness in the way you carry yourself. And as you deepen your connection with the observer, you may find that your relationships improve, not because others change, but because you approach them with greater understanding and compassion. This is the gift of awareness, a life that feels more authentic, more aligned, and more alive. It doesn't mean the end of challenges or difficulties, but it does mean facing them with a steadiness that transforms how they affect you. The observer within isn't a destination, it's a way of being, a quiet presence that walks with you through every moment, no matter what unfolds. And here's the truth, this gift has always been yours. The observer within is not something you need to earn or create. It's who you are at your core. All it takes is the willingness to pause, to look inward, and to remember. Because when you do, you'll see that the clarity, peace, and joy you've been seeking have been with you all along, waiting patiently to be rediscovered. Freedom, true, unshakable freedom, doesn't come from escaping life's difficulties or achieving some ideal version of success. It comes from stepping out of the patterns that keep us stuck and reclaiming the ability to observe without reacting. When you begin to reconnect with the observer, you'll notice how often the mind operates on autopilot, replaying old fears, reliving past regrets, or projecting into an uncertain future. These patterns can feel inescapable, but here's the truth, they are only powerful when you remain unaware of them. Imagine standing outside a theater, watching a play through a window. From this vantage point, you see the characters moving, hear their voices, and follow the story, but you're not caught up in it. You're a witness, not a participant. This is the perspective the observer provides. It allows you to see your thoughts and emotions for what they are, passing phenomena, not truths about who you are. And from this place of awareness, you gain the power to choose how to respond, rather than being swept along by every thought or feeling that arises. This doesn't mean detaching from life or avoiding its challenges. Quite the opposite, it's about engaging with life fully, but from a space of clarity and presence. When you act from the observer, you're no longer driven by unconscious patterns or reactive impulses. Your decisions become more intentional, your interactions more meaningful, and your life more aligned with what truly matters to you. Freedom through self-observation is not an instant transformation. It's a practice, one that deepens with time and patience. But even in its early stages, it can bring a profound sense of relief. The next time you feel overwhelmed or stuck, try this: pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, what is happening right now? What am I feeling? What thoughts are passing through? Simply asking these questions creates space between you and the experience, a space where freedom begins to unfold. The beauty of this practice is that it's always available to you. No matter where you are or what you're facing, the observer within is there, ready to guide you back to clarity and peace. And with each moment of self-observation, you take another step toward a life lived with greater freedom and intention. Life, at its core, is a dance of harmony. Every breath you take, every beat of your heart, is part of a delicate balance that sustains you. But in the rush of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of this natural rhythm. Stress, distractions, and external pressures pull us out of alignment, leaving us feeling fragmented and disconnected. Yet, within you, there is always a way back, a thread of harmony that connects you to your true self. When you connect with the observer, this harmony begins to re-emerge. It's not something you force or create, it's something you allow. Just as a musician tunes their instrument to create beautiful music, you can tune your inner world to resonate with the calm, steady presence of the observer. And as you do, you'll find that the noise of the external world no longer drowns out the melody of your authentic self. Harmony isn't about perfection or always feeling calm. It's about embracing the full spectrum of life while staying rooted in your essence. It's the ability to navigate challenges with grace, to find joy in simple moments, and to connect with others from a place of authenticity. This harmony doesn't just transform your inner world, it ripples outward, touching every aspect of your life. Consider how you might bring this harmony into your daily routines. Maybe it's starting the day with a moment of stillness, setting an intention to stay connected to your true self. Maybe it's pausing during a stressful moment to take a deep breath and reconnect with the observer. Or maybe it's simply noticing the small moments of beauty that so often go overlooked: a ray of sunlight, a kind word, the sound of laughter. These simple practices are like threads in a larger tapestry, each one contributing to a life lived in alignment with your true self. And as you weave these threads into your days, you'll begin to notice a profound shift. Life doesn't become easier, but it does become richer, more meaningful, and more in tune with the harmony that's always been within you. Emotions are some of the most powerful forces in our lives. They can uplift us to unimaginable heights or weigh us down with seemingly unbearable heaviness. Often, we feel at their mercy, as if joy, sadness, anger, or fear have complete control over our inner state. But here's the liberating truth: emotions are not your enemy, nor are they permanent. They are simply experiences, like waves rising and falling in the vast ocean of your being. And the observer within is the anchor that keeps you steady no matter how turbulent those waves become. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed by emotion. Perhaps it was frustration boiling over during a difficult conversation or sadness lingering after a disappointing experience. In those moments, it's easy to feel consumed, as though the emotion defines who you are. But what if you could step back, even slightly, and recognize that you are not the anger, nor the sadness? You are the awareness noticing these feelings arise, play out, and eventually pass. This shift changes everything. Instead of being carried away by the tide, you become the one who watches it come and go. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing your emotions. On the contrary, it's about allowing yourself to fully feel them without becoming trapped by them. The observer creates a safe space where you can acknowledge your emotions without judgment, letting them move through you instead of defining you. Emotional freedom is not the absence of feelings, it's the ability to experience them without losing yourself in the process. When you reconnect with the observer, you gain the clarity to understand what your emotions are telling you, whether it's a boundary being crossed, a longing unfulfilled, or a moment of gratitude. And as you cultivate this connection, you'll find that even the most challenging emotions have something to teach you, revealing deeper layers of your inner world. The next time a strong emotion arises, try this: pause and take a deep breath. Instead of reacting immediately, bring your attention to the sensation of the emotion in your body. Is it tightness in your chest? Heat rising in your face? Allow yourself to feel it fully, while silently reminding yourself, I am the one who observes this. This simple practice can transform the way you experience emotions, giving you the freedom to respond with intention rather than react impulsively. What does it mean to live authentically? For many, it's a question that remains unanswered, buried beneath the expectations and demands of daily life. But authenticity isn't something you achieve by changing yourself, it's something you uncover by letting go of what isn't truly you. And the observer within is your greatest ally in this process. When you live disconnected from your essence, life often feels like a constant struggle. You may find yourself chasing goals that don't truly matter to you or saying yes to things that drain your energy because you feel you should. Over time, this disconnect can leave you feeling lost, unfulfilled, and uncertain of who you really are. But reconnecting with the observer changes this. It gives you the space to discern what aligns with your true self and what doesn't. Authenticity doesn't mean rejecting all external influences. It's about moving through life with a sense of inner alignment, where your actions, words, and decisions reflect your core values. This clarity emerges naturally when you observe your life from the steady perspective of the observer. You begin to notice the subtle ways you compromise your truth, whether it's staying silent when you want to speak up or overcommitting when you need rest. And with this awareness, you gain the power to choose differently. Living authentically also transforms your relationships. When you connect with your essence, you stop seeking validation from others or trying to fit into molds that don't suit you. Instead, you show up as your true self, creating deeper, more meaningful connections. People are drawn to authenticity because it's rare and refreshing, a reminder of what it means to be fully alive. To begin living more authentically, start by tuning into the small moments where you feel most like yourself. Maybe it's during a quiet morning walk, a heartfelt conversation, or an activity that brings you joy. These moments are clues, pointing you toward your essence. As you cultivate this awareness, you'll find it easier to make choices that reflect who you truly are, building a life that feels not just lived, but truly your own. In a world that moves faster every day, presence can feel like a radical act. We're surrounded by distractions, notifications, deadlines, and the endless stream of information pulling us in every direction. Amid this noise, the simple act of being fully present might seem impossible. Yet, it's in this very act that true transformation begins. Presence is the doorway to the observer, and through it, you reclaim the richness of your life. Think about how much of your time is spent in the past or the future, replaying old conversations, worrying about things that haven't happened yet. While your body is here, your mind is elsewhere, caught in a loop of thoughts that rob you of the present moment. But when you practice presence, something remarkable happens. Life slows down. Colors seem brighter, sounds sharper, and the simplest moments take on a new depth. Presence isn't about stopping your thoughts or forcing yourself to focus. It's about gently bringing your attention back to what's happening right now, over and over again. Whether you're washing the dishes, listening to a loved one, or simply breathing, every moment offers an opportunity to connect with the observer within. And as you do, you'll discover a quiet revolution taking place, a shift from living on autopilot to engaging with life fully and intentionally. This revolution doesn't require grand gestures or dramatic changes. It begins with small, consistent acts of awareness. Perhaps it's taking a single mindful breath before starting your day. Or setting aside a few minutes to simply sit and notice the world around you without judgment. These moments, though small, are profound. They remind you of the life that exists beyond the busyness, the life that's waiting for you in every breath, every sensation, and every heartbeat. Presence is not a skill to master but a way of being to remember. And as you embrace it, you'll find that the observer within becomes not just a guide, but a constant companion, helping you navigate the complexities of life with greater ease and joy. This is the quiet revolution, and it begins with you. The world we live in often feels like a relentless whirlwind. Obligations pile up, news cycles spin endlessly, and the constant demand for productivity keeps us moving at a pace that leaves little room for peace. It's easy to feel like a small boat being tossed on stormy seas, powerless against the waves of daily life. But what if peace wasn't something you had to escape to or earn? What if it was something already within you, waiting to be uncovered? This peace doesn't come from controlling the chaos around you but from changing the way you relate to it. The observer within offers this shift in perspective. Instead of being swept away by every demand or distraction, you can anchor yourself in the stillness that resides at your core. From this place, the noise of the world begins to fade into the background, and a profound calm takes its place. Imagine walking through a crowded, bustling city. The sounds of traffic, conversations, and sirens fill the air. Now imagine putting on noise-canceling headphones. The chaos doesn't disappear, but it no longer overwhelms you. The observer is like those headphones, a quiet presence that allows you to navigate life's noise without being consumed by it. Cultivating this peace doesn't require a complete withdrawal from the world. It's about finding small moments to reconnect with the observer throughout your day. Maybe it's a brief pause before responding to an email, or a mindful sip of your morning coffee. These moments remind you that peace isn't something outside of you, it's a state of being you can access at any time. As you practice this, you'll notice a subtle but powerful transformation. The same challenges that once felt insurmountable now seem more manageable. The stress that once consumed you loses its edge. And beneath it all, there's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can face whatever life brings with grace and presence. This is the gift of the observer, peace, not as an escape, but as a foundation for living fully, even in the midst of chaos. Transformation often feels daunting, as though it requires dramatic changes or perfect discipline. But the truth is, the most profound shifts often begin with the smallest steps. The journey to reconnect with the observer within is no different. It's not about overhauling your life or achieving instant enlightenment, it's about planting seeds of awareness and nurturing them, moment by moment. Start where you are, with what you have. Maybe it's setting aside a single minute each morning to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Maybe it's pausing during a stressful moment to notice the sensations in your body. These practices may seem insignificant, but over time, they create a ripple effect. Each moment of awareness strengthens your connection to the observer and opens the door to greater clarity and peace. Think of it like learning to play an instrument. At first, the notes may feel awkward, and the music uneven. But with patience and practice, the melodies begin to flow naturally. The same is true for reconnecting with your essence. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to live from this space of awareness. And here's the beauty of it, you don't have to wait to feel the benefits. Even a single moment of connection can bring a sense of relief and grounding. It's like taking a deep breath after holding it for too long, a simple act, but one that changes everything. So, as you continue this journey, remember to be gentle with yourself. There's no right or wrong way to practice, no timeline to follow. Each step, no matter how small, is a step toward greater self-awareness and harmony. And with each step, you're not just changing your relationship with yourself, you're transforming the way you experience life itself. What if joy wasn't something fleeting or circumstantial? What if it wasn't tied to achievements, possessions, or the approval of others? True joy, the kind that fills you from within, doesn't come from chasing external experiences. It comes from reconnecting with the observer, the part of you that is always at peace, always whole, no matter what's happening around you. This joy is quiet yet profound. It's the feeling of being fully present in a moment, whether it's watching sunlight dance on leaves or sharing a genuine smile with a loved one. It's the contentment that arises when you stop striving and simply allow yourself to be. And the best part? This joy is always accessible, because it comes from the essence of who you are. The observer allows you to experience life in its fullness. Without the constant pull of worries and judgments, you're free to notice the beauty in the everyday. A simple meal becomes a celebration of flavors. A walk outside becomes a journey through wonder. Even the challenges of life take on a different hue, as you realize that joy isn't the absence of difficulty, it's the presence of gratitude and connection, even in the midst of it. As you practice observing life through this lens, joy becomes less about what you're doing and more about how you're being. It's a state of openness, curiosity, and appreciation for the present moment. And the more you connect with it, the more it grows, like a flame that brightens with every breath of awareness. This is the gift of the observer, the realization that joy isn't something you need to search for or create. It's already within you, waiting to be rediscovered. All it takes is the courage to pause, to look inward, and to see yourself and the world with fresh eyes. Something remarkable happens when you reconnect with the observer within. Your relationships begin to transform. Without even realizing it, much of how we interact with others is shaped by the roles we play and the stories we tell about ourselves. These roles can create walls, expectations, judgments, fears, that keep us from truly seeing and being seen. But when you live from the space of the observer, those walls begin to dissolve, replaced by a genuine sense of connection. Think about a conversation where you felt deeply heard, where the other person wasn't just waiting for their turn to speak but was fully present with you. That presence is a reflection of the observer. When you connect with your true self, you naturally offer that same presence to others. You listen without judgment, respond with authenticity, and create a space where vulnerability feels safe. This isn't about changing others or fixing relationships. It's about showing up as your most authentic self and inviting others to do the same. When you're grounded in the observer, you're less likely to take things personally or react defensively. You begin to see the people in your life not as extensions of your own expectations but as individuals navigating their own journeys. The observer also brings clarity to your connections. You may realize that some relationships are draining or misaligned with your values, while others are worth nurturing more deeply. This awareness allows you to create healthier boundaries and invest your energy where it truly matters. Start small. In your next interaction, practice being fully present. Notice the other person's words, tone, and body language without rushing to respond. Let go of the need to solve or judge and simply listen. This simple act of presence, guided by the observer, has the power to deepen your relationships and bring a sense of harmony into your connections. Life is full of challenges, moments that test our patience, resilience, and strength. While it's impossible to avoid these difficulties, the way we face them makes all the difference. When you're disconnected from your essence, challenges can feel overwhelming, as though the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But when you approach them from the perspective of the observer, everything changes. The observer doesn't deny the reality of pain or struggle. Instead, it creates space to experience these moments fully, without being consumed by them. It allows you to acknowledge your feelings without drowning in them, to assess the situation with clarity, and to respond from a place of calm rather than fear or frustration. Imagine standing in the eye of a hurricane. The winds rage around you, yet within that eye, there is stillness. This is the power of the observer. It doesn't stop the storm, but it anchors you in a place where you can weather it without losing yourself. From this perspective, even the most difficult challenges become opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Consider a recent challenge you faced. How did you react? Were you swept up in the emotions of the moment, or were you able to pause and reflect before responding? The next time a challenge arises, try this: take a moment to breathe and bring your attention to the observer within. Ask yourself, what am I experiencing right now? How can I approach this with clarity and presence? This simple practice can transform the way you navigate life's storms. The observer reminds us that challenges are not permanent. They are part of the ebb and flow of life, and like waves, they rise and eventually recede. When you stay connected to your essence, you discover a quiet strength that carries you through, no matter how rough the waters may seem. Reconnecting with the observer is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. Beneath the layers of roles, stories, and expectations, there is a core of stillness, clarity, and presence that has been with you all along. This journey back to yourself is both deeply personal and universally human, a return to the essence that unites us all. As you continue this journey, you'll notice a shift in how you experience life. Small moments take on new meaning. Challenges feel less daunting. Relationships become more authentic. And through it all, you'll discover a growing sense of peace and joy that comes from living in alignment with your true self. This isn't a path that requires perfection or grand gestures. It's a practice, a commitment to showing up for yourself each day with curiosity and compassion. Some days, the connection may feel effortless. Other days, it may feel distant. Both are part of the process. The important thing is to keep returning to the observer, trusting that each moment of awareness brings you closer to the life you're meant to live. And you're not alone on this journey. Every step you take toward self-awareness ripples outward, inspiring others to do the same. Together, we create a world where presence, authenticity, and connection become the foundation of how we live and relate to one another. The observer within is your guide, your anchor, and your compass. It's always there, waiting to welcome you back to yourself. All you need to do is pause, look inward, and listen. Every step you take toward reconnecting with the observer within doesn't just transform your inner world, it influences everything around you. Think about how often your energy, mood, or state of mind impacts those closest to you. When you're stressed, it ripples outward, affecting interactions and decisions. But when you're centered in the clarity and peace of your true self, that ripple effect changes dramatically. Living from a place of awareness inspires others. It shows them that it's possible to navigate life's challenges without being consumed by them, to approach relationships with authenticity, and to find joy even in simple moments. You don't need to preach or teach, your presence speaks for itself. The calm, steady energy you cultivate by connecting with the observer naturally encourages others to explore their own inner stillness. This ripple effect extends beyond personal relationships. Imagine what could happen if workplaces were filled with individuals who operated from a place of clarity and compassion, or if communities were led by those connected to their deeper selves. Small changes in one person can create a wave of transformation in the world. And it all begins with you. The next time you notice yourself becoming more present, ask how you can extend that energy outward. Maybe it's offering a kind word to someone who's struggling, responding with patience during a tense moment, or simply holding space for a loved one without judgment. These small acts of awareness can make a profound difference, turning everyday interactions into opportunities for connection and growth. The beauty of this ripple effect is that it's effortless. You don't need to force it or plan it. Simply by living from the observer within, you become a source of calm, clarity, and inspiration for others. And as more people reconnect with their essence, the ripple grows, creating a world that reflects the harmony and presence we all carry within us. Reconnecting with the observer isn't a one-time event, it's a lifelong practice. Some days, the connection will feel effortless, like a clear sky stretching endlessly before you. Other days, it may feel clouded, as the storms of life demand your attention. But every moment of awareness, no matter how small, strengthens your bond with the observer and brings you closer to your true self. Embrace this practice with patience and curiosity. There's no right or wrong way to begin, only the willingness to show up for yourself. Whether it's through mindful breathing, journaling your thoughts without judgment, or simply pausing during the day to notice your surroundings, each step matters. These small moments of awareness are like drops of water that, over time, fill a well of inner stillness and clarity. It's also important to remember that this practice isn't about perfection. There will be times when you feel disconnected, when old patterns or overwhelming emotions take hold. When this happens, remind yourself that the observer hasn't gone anywhere. It's always there, patiently waiting for you to return. And returning can be as simple as taking a deep breath and reminding yourself, I am the one who observes. Over time, you'll notice the cumulative effect of these small efforts. Challenges that once felt insurmountable will lose their power. Joy will feel less fleeting and more grounded. And your relationships, with yourself, others, and the world, will deepen in ways you never thought possible. As you embrace this practice, remember that you're part of a larger journey. Each moment of awareness adds to the collective shift toward greater presence, authenticity, and connection. By returning to the observer, you're not only transforming your life, you're contributing to a world where these values become the foundation for how we live together. Now that you've taken this journey into the heart of awareness, the question is, what will you do next? Transformation doesn't require grand gestures or monumental changes. It begins with a single step, a single moment of choosing to pause, look inward, and reconnect with the observer within. Start today, right now, by taking a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs and leave your body. In this simple act, you're already practicing awareness. From here, consider setting aside just a few minutes each day to explore this connection. Perhaps it's through a quiet moment in the morning, journaling your thoughts, or simply observing your emotions as they arise without judgment. And remember, you're not alone on this path. Thousands of others are on the same journey, seeking clarity, peace, and alignment with their true selves. By engaging with this practice, you're joining a community of individuals transforming their lives, and the world around them, one moment at a time. If you found these ideas meaningful, take the next step by sharing this journey with others. Subscribe to our channel, leave a comment with your thoughts, and explore more of our content designed to deepen your connection with yourself. Every like, share, and interaction helps spread this message of self-awareness and transformation to those who need it most. And if you're ready to go deeper, join us in the next video, where we'll explore practical techniques for cultivating this awareness in everyday life. Together, we'll continue this journey inward, unlocking the profound potential that lies within each of us.